that people just return to Denver and not even head that way. So must be, it doesn't look like it's raining much that way.
Well, it hasn't there, but remember all the lessons we've learned from Waldo is that it can be raining somewhere else.
True.
And that has to wash downhill, and so that's one of the issues there. So, boy, this is a big band of rain. Look at that from Denver, extending all the way up now to Fort Lupton, and all moving toward the northwest.
And you know, we were just talking about that rescue in Boulder, and our photographer James Dougherty, who was the one who spent all of his evening in Boulder tonight, knows the Boulder area well, is joining us now. And James, you shot that video of those folks being rescued. That had to have been a tremendous relief for everyone involved.
Everyone that got across the ladder truck seemed to be very relieved that they were able to get out of their apartment okay. They said that the road that they live on is Birchwood Drive, which basically runs parallel with 28th right near Palo Park. They said that it turned into basically a river, and so they really couldn't get out. They said, unfortunately, they did have one fatality of a pet. I believe it was a dog. So, but there, as you saw in the video, I believe there was at least one dog rescued. I did talk to a couple women who are students in town that had some rabbits, and those came across safely. So it really was a scary situation, and it was just, there are so many things going on in Boulder right now. So many different rescues, so many different areas. There's water running everywhere, and as you can see right here behind me, I can take you for a tour real quick.
Well, we're watching your video here really fast, James. We'll get to your tour here in just a moment. But as we're watching this woman in the rainbow-colored shirt walking across the ladder, it seemed calm. I mean, it seemed like everybody was, was pretty calm as they were making this rescue.
It seemed that way, exactly. They were basically just in their apartment, and they said that there was a river separating their apartment from where they could get to any kind of safety. So that's really why Boulder Fire came in and needed to lift them out of their balcony, essentially. And so they were relieved to just get away. They were pretty sad. There was that woman who appeared to be crying as she was coming across, and it was sad to watch. But at the same time, this is just, it's really incredible what's going on. It's something that I've never seen before. No,
and on what level was their apartment or home?
I believe there was a second floor. I think they said that there was a basement unit that was completely flooded, and it seemed to be it was either a first or second floor. I believe it was a second floor apartment. And the structure, it seemed like it was an apartment type of building or a condo, and that they went up to maybe 3 floors at the max.
And that was not in an evacuation zone, correct?
Honestly, I do not know the answer to that.
Yeah. Well, that's not one of the areas that we've heard of, and they just felt like they were to a point where they really had no way out, James?
They said that there was basically a river separating them. When I asked what road they lived on, they said, we live on Birchwood Drive, which really became Birch River Drive, is what the one girl said.
Okay, so we're looking now at your live picture there in Boulder. And what are we seeing? Because it looks like a river.
It is a river. This is 28th. This is 28th, just south of Iris. I mean, I'm just going to unhook the camera from the tripod, give you a little tour. I'm going to put it up on my shoulders so you can kind of see what I'm seeing. So I'm going to walk over here, and let me get some little light on here. Let me brighten it up a little bit for you. And yeah, this is 28th. So really,
wow.
That's Safeway.
There's the Safeway.
And there's the Conoco on the corner, and they're actually closed. They have a sign on the door that says closed until the flooding stops. And so they've got some bags on the pumps. And but yeah, the flooding, this is what it's like all over Boulder.
What are those barriers? Are those rocks?
These are just rocks. I think this is an RTD bus stop. And so I think these are just rocks that are here just for decoration or to keep people from driving through into the Safeway shopping center, because it's not a designated driveway for the shopping center. But this is the sidewalk, so you can see that's the sidewalk right there, and the water is just flowing down 28th. There's let's see, there's that Sports Authority over there, and it's really flowing south. Here's an ambulance that's sitting on 28th, southbound.
And what about rain? I mean, it seems like it has let up.
It has it's let up, but I think it may be starting to get raining a little more.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there's some rain right there.
There's plenty of rain.
Yeah, it is still raining. But when I was up in Boulder Canyon earlier, I was up at Boulder Canyon and 4 Mile Canyon, and it was a absolute downpour up there. It was a torrential downpour, and cars were having trouble seeing. There was actually a couple rock slides where the rocks were coming across the road, and so if you weren't paying attention, you'd be hitting some boulders that were not quite this big, but may have been a quarter of that size, and that would do a damage to your tires or your front end of your vehicle, for sure.
And so, James, as you've been out and about tonight and talking to people, what are they saying about this?
Really, the people that I talked to that were rescued using the ladder truck said that they've never seen anything like it,
right.
But they had only been here for 2 years. One of them was a student at Naropa University here in Boulder, and had only lived here for 2 years. I moved to Colorado in 2001. I went to CU starting in 2001, and I moved away for a few years to go live down in Colorado Springs, but I've never seen anything like this in Boulder. I live in Boulder County. I've never seen anything like this.
Well, and I went to school at CU many years prior to you, and I don't recall anything like this at all. It's an incredible scene. All right, James, we'll let you get back to work and getting more pictures, and we'll check back with you here in a bit. I'm seeing now that from the Office of Emergency Management that there are some confirmed homes lost in the Boulder floods tonight, and that once again the streets of Boulder are impassable. This is from the Office of Emergency Management in Boulder. So still a very scary and very serious situation going on in Boulder tonight as we watch these pictures, talk to people, and see some of the rescues that are taking place. Again, we know of at least one fatality from these floods tonight from the Jamestown area. Again, we're watching the Lyons area because we know of a dam that is breached. I think that was near the Pinewood area. So we are waiting to see what are some of the ramifications of that for Lyons. We know that Jamestown